Serving Tampa Bay since 1954. The Heritage Station. WTMP, Egypt Lake, Tampa, Clearwater, 97.5 in Pinellas.
Alrighty. Tampa Bay is that time again. We are here. The herd has arrived. Thank you for being one of our loyal listeners. And if this is your first time, buckle your seatbelt.
Hold on.
Get ready, because
we're going to blast
this
off.
is going to be one of them good ones. And I got to say something, even before I get the show started, from the last show, that's a good thing about coming after certain people, because you get to have the final word. So anyway.
Absolutely. The right word.
It was mentioned, that there's a lot, and I'm talking about in the black neighborhood, the HNICN.
Really?
Head Negro in charge of Negroes. Okay. Now I know you've heard it put several other ways.
Oh yeah.
But that to a lot of y'all folks, y'all think that's an important position. That's like in the olden days when you had the master, and you had the big house, and then you had the field foreman, whose primary job was to whoop your butt, and the master say whoop John gets a whooping from the HNICN. So nowadays, you may have head Negro in charge of Negroes.
Thank you.
That's the person who's over recruiting. That's the person.
But Eddie, is that good or bad?
That's over function.
Is that good or bad?
All the black folks know what I'm talking about. So it may be going over your head a little bit. Black folks know what I'm talking about.
It's a little bit thinner these days, probably.
Well, it's a good position, because white folk give you the position to go tell black folk what to do, and that's what they do. And to the black people, who and I'm saying this, so I might want to get this off my head, so I don't get a bunch of phone calls after the show. But 60% of black folks are sheep, and they're trying to follow somebody. And when the white folks say Mr. Nobley over there, who happens to be black also, he's a good, y'all know that name don't sound, but you know what I'm trying to say. That name don't sound right, but he is over y'all, so y'all need to do what he say. And that's how it works. So and I've said ever since I started this show 10 years ago, we are our own worst enemies.
Ouch.
We take advantage of each other. We are the ones who punish each other. We go through a lot of that. So I had to get it off my chest, had to get it said, because that come from the last show, and I wanted to make sure that I got that point out before we got started with this show. So anyway, Porch Talk Radio, welcome to this show. And I told you it was going to be a hot, heavy show, because we got a lot. We got a guest. For those on Facebook Live, welcome again. We're getting better at it, because each week, we're experimenting. So
Absolutely.
So give us a couple of weeks, and we had this Facebook Live down pat too. So we're getting there.
Singing, dancing, we got it all lined up.
We ain't there yet, but it's coming. So anyway, if you want to call in during the show, boy, but almost 10 minutes and we just getting started.
Yeah.
but I had to get a thing off my chest, because again, cause white folks tell you somebody's a leader, or white folks tell you that
they got the same crap.
That to listen to somebody, it ain't the same. White folks have had 400 years of Joe beating up Joe, because I tell you to go beat Joe up. See, that ain't the same. Go punish Joe and his family. See, that's that. Tell somebody to do something that you either ain't willing to do, or not prepared to do, or can't do yourself. So again, that's part of us being sheep. So anyway, Porch Talk Radio. If you want to call in during this show, the call-in number here at WTMP is 813-251-9867. 813-251-9867.
2-minute limit.
If you want to call me, Eddie Adams Jr., after the show is over with, which is a lot of folks calling. Boy, I'm getting so many calls after the show. Getting so many calls during the week. It ain't that kind of show. But again, that's why I give the number out, because I want to hear what you guys are saying. So anyway, my cell phone number, Eddie Adams Jr. cell phone number is 813-212. Email me at Eddie, EDDIE, porchtalkradio.com. So I'm getting a little bit of everything. I'm getting emails, I'm getting calls, I'm getting texts, and I appreciate it. I'm not complaining. You know, I'm just making sure that for those who haven't done it, if you want to do it, you know, it's there. I am a community servant. I'm here for you. And some folks take advantage of it, some folks don't. I am not the HNICN. I'm not that guy. So
there we go.
So nobody sent me here to do this. I'm doing this on my own. I am not running for anything. So my political days are pretty much over. So if you call to tell me about something and ask me to run for something, you know, I am not running for supervisor of election. I am not doing that. I'm sorry. It takes as much time, energy, and effort to run for stuff you don't want, to get pushed into running for something, you know, than it does to run for something you do want. So when I wanted something, I worked my butt off, and I had a lot of people around me to help me who worked their butt off also, but we didn't get there. So that's that. So I am not running for anything. So I am doing this, and this is a platform for community communication and service. So if you got something that's going on, you want folks to know about it, this is the place to call. Call during the show, call after the show, whenever you need to call. Now, I did something last week. We had a person call in with some information because we're talking about black businesses and how, you know, some people are hurting. Matter of fact, you know, and this is going to be part of my show, you know, the second part of the show, where we got a lot of folks who are hurting. You know, they've not had income, you know, for 8 or 9 weeks. You know, they wasn't that well off to start with. You know, the governor just stopped folks from getting evicted, you know, and getting kicked out the house and having your mortgage foreclosed on. But that's only a little part of it. Mm-hmm. Now let me throw something else out there. For all those folks who are in the government bureaucracy, that's all those elected, and those who are not elected, ain't missed a check yet.
Funny that, huh?
It's easy to say, oh, we are in this together, and we're all gonna do this, and we're gonna come out of this and that and that.
No,
bull crap. I mean, big pile, big huge turds of bull crap, because they ain't missed nothing. It's easy for them to say, you know, yeah, hang in there. You know, we're gonna keep the state closed down for another 8 weeks. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. You know, they ain't missing no checks. They ain't missing no meals. You know, their family ain't suffering, and I do mean ain't. So for those sitting back saying, you know, he not using the if that's all you getting out of this, shame on you.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say that. Okay.
There's a point in all this. Come on.
Yeah, as I was doing, my good friend looking at me like I'm crazy. But, you know, this show is intended to be fun. It's intended to be informative, you know, and it's intended to make some stuff happen. So as I was saying, I'm not like Joe Biden. You know, I'm not just rambling.
Just rambling to ramble?
I'm not just rambling.
Well, Eddie, real quick on the politicians and them saying they're feeling our pain. I just noticed that came out Friday that Nancy Pelosi had put in that she wanted the House to stay shut till July 21st. And I know that they haven't missed any checks. I know their benefits are still active.
Matter of fact, they're getting a raise. Right?
Yeah. So as politicians go, this is why people hate politics.
Yeah. Okay. As I was saying. So sitting here beside me now, let me go through this because I actually got an introduction, you know, for our guest today, and I tell you her name after I read all this other stuff. Because you guys have heard you've heard it before. So she is a Air Force Major retired, you know, combat veteran. She's president of Optional Solutions LLC, which is a healthcare provider for durable medical equipment and supplies. They do the safety personal protection equipment, PPE, and construction division for Division 10 Specialty Supplies. She's also CEO of Safe T Gear. and they manufacture disposable near-room nitros gloves, dipper, and worker gloves. So anyway, she has a certified service disabled veteran, small business, disadvantaged minority, woman-owned business enterprise.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
Yeah, it is. That's why I'm putting it all out there.
There you go.
And on top of all that other stuff, she's got a PhD. So
She's way smart.
without any further ado, let me introduce to some and make sure that the others, understand and know the importance of this young lady that's sitting with us. Her name is Tammy Foster Knight. Welcome.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Welcome to Porch Talk Radio. I'm glad I was able to do that. Because if you guys remember, she called in last week, and she actually got a couple of orders. That she called me during the week and said thank you for letting me call in. I got some orders and stuff, and I said, well, why don't you come in the show, because I know the stuff that you provide and
It's popular right now.
as a black
It's
business owner. In this day and time, it's going to be important, that we can do business, commercially with our own. Once you get closer to the mic, to do business, with our own people. So a lot of folks say, well, we don't know any black folks that have that kind of equipment. We don't know any people that's supplying that kind of stuff.
That excuse has now been ripped.
Not only is she going to tell you the kind of stuff that she got, she also going to give you some of the prices, hopefully.
And contact information.
So just if you don't have the prices, that's okay. They go to the website and get them. But just give them some ballpark figure, because again, we got folks looking for stuff, and the first thing I hear from, especially from black folks, well, ain't no black folks got that, and ain't no black folks doing that, and I don't know anybody. Okay, here it is. Okay, that's one you just kick on down the road, because this young lady's gonna get rid of that. So, welcome to Porch Talk Radio. Go ahead and give your spiel.
And bring it.
Bring it. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Eddie and Gabrielle, for having me on the show. Yes, I did call in last week because I wanted everyone to know that I do support our community. It's community support. Without that, it'll be a hard time for us to make sure we get out there and touch the people that are in need.
Mm-hmm.
And as you said, Eddie, I do provide PPE, personal protective equipment. I've been in business for 12 years, and I'll tell you, over this time, I've been able to help people at the federal, state, and local level, to include individuals. So my business, Optional Solutions LLC, over these past years, we've garnered and supported hospitals, providing everything from big hospital beds all the way down to IV stand posts. So yeah, we've been pretty busy. So here in the past 2 years, we started Safety Gear. So Safety Gear is a play on words and how it's spelled. It's spelled SAFE -T-gear. So if you visit our website,
That is.
which is www.safegear-ppe.com. So that's our website, and there you'll see where we offer face masks, KN95s, the 3-ply ear loop masks. We have hand sanitizers. We have face shields. We also have isolation jumpsuits. So we have a number of things. And Eddie talked about our disposable gloves. We do have our own brand of disposable gloves. They're called Safety Gear. And with everything that's going on, we went through 599 cases of gloves in 7 weeks.
Good.
Yeah.
People use
Good.
them.
Commerce.
Yeah. In 7 weeks. So the 599 cases equated to 599,000 gloves.
Wow.
So right now, with what's going on with China and the U.S., we're out of disposable gloves.
Mm-hmm.
But we do have nitrile dipped work gloves. So you can visit our website, take a look at those items, take a look at the pricing. And Eddie talked about sharing price points. Well, we lowered some of the prices today.
Mm-hmm.
So please visit the website. You can contact me at any time. Cell phone is 813-892-9888.
And I got to tell you guys, be kind You know, because you know if you go to the website or something and see a pretty picture, this is not the love connection. So don't be trying to call
No tender
and
moments
hit us
going on
and all
here.
that kind
This
of stuff.
business.
So
Dollars.
take that cell phone number, but make sure you use it for business.
We will track you.
Yeah, so that's who we are, and please know that we're here to support the community, and that's one of the biggest reasons why we decided to lower our prices. There's a lot of people, a lot of businesses right now that's price gouging.
Yes, they are.
They are
Badly.
Taking advantage of the situation.
taking advantage of the situation. So I think that's pretty much what I had to say. If anyone wants to email me, that's tammy@safetygear-ppe.com.
All right. So, and another thing too, I know it's some folks out there who have been concerned about black businesses, and it's a lot of black businesses that's been taking it on the chin. I got to tell you, because we're at the bottom of the totem pole. In this society, you got X number of levels. No matter how many levels you got, we're always at the bottom. And matter of fact, even during the week, I saw they got a special on WEDU Channel 3 on Asian Americans. They got stuff where somehow everybody tends to get something done right for them, other than black folks. No matter what it is, we still at the bottom. We still last, and we last for consideration. And at the end of the day, we're last because we're waiting on somebody else to change that for us. We have to change that for ourselves. And this is your opportunity. If you need gloves, if you need some of these medical supplies and material, if you know somebody who may need, if you know some white folks, money's green. If you know some white folks
It all
who
spends the
you
same,
may
right?
work for, or you may know of, who needs some of this stuff, or somebody who may have mentioned it to you, this is your opportunity to do right. So you can call, you can email, you go to the website, and make something happen.
Okay,
Go
one
ahead.
other
Go
thing
ahead.
that I wanted to mention, Eddie, these pieces of equipment, these supplies are in high demand right now. So on my website, you will notice where it says phone in the order. And the reason why we're asking you to phone in order is because the product comes in and it goes right out. So we don't want you to go online and attempt to place an order and then we're out of stock. What we have set up, if you make an order today or during a business day, the products are shipped out the next day. Because we do have inventory locally, so there's no lead time.
Oh, wow, that's excellent.
Yes,
That's awesome.
thank God.
It's not coming from China.
They're not coming from China right now because we waited on a lot of pieces of equipment and supplies coming from China, and it took 45
I'm waiting on my
to
Wish
60
stuff
days.
right now, because I ordered my stuff from Wish,
Uh-huh.
and it's all made in China, and it's supposed to be here in April. I think I've been told July. Like, holy mackerel.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty much
That's
it.
a long wait,
It is.
especially from Wish.
Well,
That's
that's-
super stuff,
Well, being made in China is worse than being, Megan now, because that's the new taboo.
You had to go there.
You
I
know,
just knew you were going to do
If
it.
it's made in
You had
China,
to go there. Come on.
don't buy it,
You're not
don't get
PC,
it.
buddy.
If you go to Walmart, everything in Walmart is made in China.
Yeah, a lot of things are made in
So
China,
I gotta
Eddie.
say that. So
That's true. And the cost of labor, in fact, to some of the listening audience's delight, the billionaire's Miss Walton is just joined an anti-Trump group with lots of money, hundreds of millions of money,
Yeah.
to try and fight the fight. I'm like, well, okay, it's her money. Of course, it's China she's going to defend. Anyway, that's another story. Move on. Go on, Eddie.
yeah, that's it. So I just wanted to make sure, and if any of you guys got any questions, you wanna ask Tammy, I just gave out the number, 813-251-9867, 813-251.
That's to us.
9867.
Now, Eddie?
That's call in the show today if you want to ask some questions on the air.
You got 2 minutes on that
Yeah,
call.
and somebody. Okay.
Just remind everybody.
I said that as soon as I said that, somebody text me. So and like I say, a lot of times I don't get to answer texts on the phone. So
A question for you, Tammy, real quick.
Go ahead.
So the N95 mask, the general public has an understanding that it's the best one to have. My question is it that much more effective than just the regular cloth ones that everybody's doing, the bandanas, the scarves? So is the N9, is that the real deal, basically?
Well, there's 3 layers of filtration. So
Okay.
yes, they are considered to be better than the cloth. The cloth, while it does serve, its own particular purposes, but that's,
You're good on wording, I like
but,
that.
but they're more so protecting the saliva that's been spit out. But it's
Sputum.
sputum.
Whatever you had to do with the patient. And then after you left the room, you pulled it off and threw it all away. That's why
recycling.
That's how and why that stuff was made. It was not made for you guys to wear for a whole week.
Right.
Wear it since this thing started. Because some of you have only had one.
I see people buy them gloves, and they had them for 3 weeks now. They just keep recycling them gloves. I'm like, well, I'm not really sure.
They also not made for you
Use.
to put in Walmart and Sam's and Home Depot. As soon as you leave the store, pull them off in the parking lot.
I've seen that. That's nasty. The mass on the floor, you're like, oh my goodness.
All right, we got a caller. So welcome to Porch Talk Radio this Saturday afternoon. Who are you? Where you calling from? And what say you?
Yeah, hey, this is Don. I'm here in St. Petersburg, enjoying your show.
Thank you.
Thank you, Don.
Yeah, I wanted to just make a couple comments on this and then ask Tammy a question or two too. Over here in the West, where we are in the U.S. and also in Europe, we're all getting blasted pretty badly with the COVID. But it's interesting. I spent 12 years in Uganda and Kenya. I covered myself and went for ministry there, and with my wife, who's a Kenyan, Black African Kenyan, and we've been married 15 years now. We came back a couple of years ago. In Africa, like in Uganda, so far there's still 0 deaths. In Kenya, there's like 20. If you add up all of Africa, all the people in sub-Saharan Africa, which is the part below the Arab countries at the top of Africa, the total is less than Switzerland, which is like 5 or 6 million people. I'm wondering if maybe there's, because so many people have gone through malaria and have recovered from malaria. So many people have gone through different their bodies are so strong to fight diseases and sicknesses. I wonder if maybe we're just plain weak in our countries and don't have the defenses, because the people that I was with, I'm from downtown Nairobi or downtown Kampala. There's 2 million people next to each other all the time, and people and families are like 15 people in a family. And so, I think that there's something going on in terms of the resistance ability of people who've gone through a lot of diseases that they've had to fight in Latin America and India and Africa, that people in the West, just have never had to deal with. So that's one point, and I wanted your thoughts on that. And then Tammy, we need to buy Tammy stuff, because I tried a couple months ago to get a COVID-95 mask, and I bought it on a website that I thought was UK, but it turns out that the UK people are just a front, and they order it from China. And when things finally came in the mail, it's not one of those nice N95 masks. It's something just a little bit nicer than a normal, simple mask you buy at Walgreens. And I paid $43 for 2 of those.
Wow.
So, make sure you get from Tammy, because if you do these other things, I think you're going to get messed up. So those were a couple of thoughts. I wanted your feedback.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, on this first point, folks in Africa, on the continent of Africa, fought malaria, which killed millions of people.
Yeah.
People, kind of forget that malaria killed millions of people, and the herd immunity that they talking about is something that a lot of you have kind of heard of. It's called sickle cell. So what they did was the people mutated they had a gene that mutated to the point that where malaria will not attack a cell that has a sickle. It's a ill-shaped, misformed cell that has a sickle. Now, if you are a sickle cell carrier, I know I'm talking, if you're a sickle cell carrier, I am a sickle cell carrier. They used to tell you, they used to screen for sickle cell in the U.S. because if 2 recessive sickle cell carriers got married, their kids could have sickle cell anemia, which is the disease.
Got it.
But you can have sickle cell and be immune to malaria. So if you got a whole continent of folks who are immune to malaria, they have built up some serious resistance, and it's not just malaria; they're resistant to a whole bunch of other bacteria, diseases, and stuff that's out there. So yeah, that may be why. Also, Also, to your other point, is a lot of folks, and this is someone asked me to do, is to ask you to say who are some of your suppliers, who are some of the people, who are some of the companies around the U.S. where you get your material and get your supplies from, so they would be more familiar with what's going on and where you get. So the stuff that's not coming from China, who are the national U.S. manufacturers that are producing these supplies for you?
Well, I have several suppliers across the U.S. and majority of my suppliers are not the actual manufacturer of the product.
Right.
So it's really situational, Eddie. I can't really say, hey, my supplier in Canada, who I was on the phone with yesterday, or my supplier in California that I was on the phone with.
Right.
So a lot of times I'm working with suppliers over in Malaysia and Taiwan as well. Stand up all
They're kind of
throughout
middle,
the night.
right?
Yeah. So it just depends on who my supplier is and what product they're carrying and whether or not they're the manufacturer.
And the other thing, like any other distribution, because you are a distributor, you take responsibility and you certify that the quality of the stuff you're actually selling is of the highest quality, and that's what the important part of it is that folks know this is some good stuff,
Not junk.
and it's not like the guy say he ordered some stuff and it was way below the quality of the standard he thought he was gonna get. But that's the thing about you being local here in Tampa. If you're here in Tampa and you order your stuff from Tammy, you got a number, you got a website, and you can call her and say, well, it ain't what I thought it was, and that's where feedback come in. You call and say, well, that wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It may be a complaint, but as sheep, which I've said several times this show, you got to stop being sheep. And I know you guys scream, holler, and yell at somebody black. So go. You may not yell at the white folks, but you will do it with the black folks. So she's here, and what she's trying to do is supply and demand.
There you go.
Supply and demand.
Now,
Absolutely. I'm sorry, Gabriel.
okay, go for it.
Well, one of the things we do to try to mitigate concerns, and we work hard to not lose clients, we do follow-ups.
Right.
So I have
Customer
a team,
service.
Absolutely, and that's one of the great things about being a small business owner. We're able to touch back or reach back to the client a lot faster than bigger businesses because of having to pass messages along.
Right.
So I did that the other day. A lot of clients in Puerto Rico reached over to them as the owner of the business to say, hey, how did my salesperson work with you? How did everything go? So that's what we like to do. And if something happens and there's an actual problem, we fix the problem.
That's awesome.
We apologize. We're big people, big girls and boys.
You handle it, fix it.
We apologize. This happened. How can we make it better?
Right. Eddie, to the second point of this person, the caller, the fact that America has a lot of testing sites, and we've got mobile testing sites happening here in Florida, I think that is why the numbers continue to stay high in the United States, just because we have more testing.
And we got another caller. So caller, welcome to Porch Talk Radio this Saturday afternoon. Thank you for calling. Who are you? Where you calling from? And what say you?
Man, this is Joe Robinson calling from West Tampa.
Joe!
On my way to Bayshore Boulevard, walking.
Joe,
you
you're not the HNICH, huh?
Huh?
Oh, no, come on, Eddie.
Okay, go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry. I'm messing with you.
Yeah, I know everybody want to mess with Joe Robinson, man, but they can't, okay? You mess with Joe Robinson, you might find yourself dead.
Can't touch us.
destroyed,
Come on.
Gouged. But anyway, we don't mess around on the west side. It's the black mafia. Anyway, Miss Tommy Foster, now, I think I remember her, but she was cranking up, I bet Ebo City, I believe. Smoking a cigar, I was over there, and they come over there to the table, and she said, I've got this business, so I'm trying to supply. I said, you need to get that to construction. And now I hear she done talk about Division 10. She's redid her business so that it approaches the current need for
Big time.
And so, I just want to commend her that she's a real good entrepreneur, and she's got that military background. That's what makes a difference.
Big
And
time.
so I just want to say,
Air
that's
Force.
the kind of business we need out here. She's trying, we need to support her. And all these contractors and all these big $1 and $1 million jobs in Tampa, she got a right to put in a bid and supply supplies, and she's going to make a fortune because all the hospitals and everybody else spend about billions and billion dollars of the type of stuff you sell. And I just want to say, keep it up. We need more people in those non-traditional supplies and non-traditional services, and so we can make this thing work. And that's all I want to say. And stop talking about HNIC. And if you don't know nothing about HNIC,
wait, you forgot to put that other end on the back of it.
All right.
God bless, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Good show. All right.
Thank you, Joe. Okay, and Joe just made me think of something. The University of South Florida has had okay, I know we got another caller, but let me finish this thought. You know,
Before
University.
you go there,
Okay.
I'm sorry, Eddie. Mr. Robinson, thank you so much for calling in. And I also thank you, Don. I appreciate you, too, for supporting me.
All right. So the University of South Florida, you know, got probably a suck butt record with doing business with black folks, and this would be an opportunity for you to contact the people at USF, because they are talking about, you know, having students back on campus, and they're gonna need some of this PPE stuff, you know, so that may be a good way to get some business, because they need to do more business with black folks.
All right, thank
All right,
you.
and folks on Facebook Live, you know, we're doing our thing, so, you know,
Share,
glad to see you.
like the video.
You know, hopefully you return to the Porch Talk Radio and you like what you're seeing. So anyway,
If not,
a
just
caller,
wait for us.
welcome to Porch Talk Radio this Saturday afternoon. Who are you? Where you calling from? And what say you? Hello.
Hey, Eddie, this is Al. I you know, when y'all do good things, I have to call and give y'all kudos. And Tammy is a good person, and, you know, being an ex-military officer, she know how to do things right. She's come to several of our BBIC events and things like that, and it's great to see her going into that, and I think it's great that you had on the show. So keep it up, Tammy. You're doing a great job. It was good to see you today. Keep it up. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Al.
Thank you, Al, for listening to the show.
And calling the number
You know,
one show
and-
rated.
and calling in and all that good stuff. And I had a conversation with Al down in the parking lot before I came up. So Al's a good guy. He got a good show here. And this show, you know, and I say it all the time, and every now and then I may forget to tell you, but this show is not like many of the other shows on TMP. So when people call this show, you know, and our regular listeners, you know, we're kind of like Muhammad Ali back in the day. Half of the folks come to see us win, and other folks come to see us get whooped. So I don't care which one of them you are. You know, the fact that you're listening is important to us. So we appreciate our listeners and the ones that's been with us. We got people probably been with us for 10 years too. You know, been listening to us the
They
whole
pray
time.
for us, hopefully.
And every now and then I meet somebody who only know me from the radio show. So they don't know how I look. They don't know, you know, much of the stuff.
With faces like ours, Eddie, we are perfect for radio.
Stuff behind the scenes. So this is good, and we're still hanging in there, and we're still making stuff happen, and there's some opportunities, you know. And so let me get back to what I said earlier in the show. We are not all in this thing together. The politicians, state, local, federal, have not given up one paycheck.
No.
They have not plowed under their fields. They have not slaughtered their livestock or dumped milk in the fields. They have not lost their houses, or they have not lost their business. They have not laid awake all night wondering how they were going to feed their families or pay their bills. As they continue to enforce some of these draconian restrictions, not one of them is suffering the same way they keep telling you to do. And it had to come to head. It had to come to pass. I mean, that barber and that salon owner in Texas and that barber in Wisconsin. And
They took that guy's license away.
And they did. And the barber down in Miami.
Elections have consequences,
I mean,
folks.
it's sad because the folks who are forcing this upon you, and I'm gonna say it, you know, I got to say it,
Come on, Eddie.
is okay. They, like your mama said, if everybody jumps off the cliff in front of you, are you gonna jump off the cliff because they jumped off the cliff? Because I had people tell me, well, they say, well, I have been lied to before. I'm gonna tell you, this ain't the first time somebody's lied to me. You know, I've been lied to before. I have to understand that if somebody who works for Walmart, or somebody who works for Home Depot, or somebody who works for some of these other companies, gas station, who have not missed the check, who have not felt anything out of the normal. Matter of fact, some people are making more money now than they have ever made, you know, in their entire life. This is like Christmas. This is like a 3-month Christmas for some people because they're getting all the business and not have to go with half of the headache they have to go with personal relationship because those people get paid to deal with people. Ain't nobody showing up. Ain't nobody going to City Hall. Ain't nobody going down to the county commission building, you know, because, you know, a lot of those services are not being offered. So again, at the end of the day, they're not suffering. They're not even working. And many of them are still getting their checks.
And Eddie, a majority of them we've heard as of the last 30 days, after they were telling people to stay home, they were traveling. They were caught traveling. They were caught out at the beaches.
Yeah.
They were caught visiting their relatives. And these are the ones that are telling us, no, you stay home hiding. And the media is kind of feeding that. Their message basically says, remain terrified, question nothing, stay home with a gas mask on.
Well, I'm gonna
Shut the TV off, folks.
I'm gonna tell you guys something. I heard a story the other day, and the story was basically, you know, if you take everybody in the country, you got 60%, and let me say not the country. I particularly know this is with black folk. You got 60% sheep. Most people are sheep, especially in the black community. Then you got 15% wolves, who are literally looking for a meal, and the sheep are the meal.
Easy.
And then you got the sheepdog. The sheepdog, his job is pretty much to protect the sheep from the wolves.
Right.
The wolves' job is to get past the sheepdog so they can eat. I see our community kind of set up that way. And we got some people, you guys know who the sheepdogs are. You know who the people who stand up and protect you from the government, from the system, from a whole bunch of folks that take advantage of you. And those folks get paid good money to just make your life miserable. And I'm just saying it because you hear them every week. If I never hear another Corona, you know, commercial ad, I'm in this, we're in this, I don't give a flying finger of fate.
Yeah. You know, and to come back to just the politicians saying these things to us, I know that Fresno County Sheriff, her name is Mims, says she's not enforcing that stay-at-home law because they're too busy recatching the people they released from prison because they've been doing it again.
Wow.
It's insanity.
I don't think people are crazy. I just think people see. You can only tell me, you know, the sun is shining and it's 12 o'clock at night and it's black night and I see it. So am I going to believe my stupid, crazy eyes, what they're telling me, or I'm going to keep listening to you lying to me, you know, and telling me, you know, that it's a bright, blustery, sunny day, you know, and it's black night. I can see that some things is common sense, but you've been conditioned for 400 years to do what somebody tell you. And that somebody keeps changing, but they still telling you the same thing.
Folks, keeping everything in perspective, as we have a wonderful lady with some great products here to help you guys out. Understand, the Surgeon General mentioned just this past week that people are still going to die more from cancer than from corona. There's even something more worse than heart disease. That's still a big one. Every year that takes out thousands. Driving, DUIs, people getting hit out there, car wrecks. There's still people dying a lot from that. So just kind of keep a perspective and shut your TV off. And if your health is not good, I got 3 wonderful ladies in my, they're in their 70s, high blood pressure, diabetes. I can't keep them women at home. They're off at Walmart, they're off at Lowe's, they're off at Home Depot, shopping all the time like crazy. And they're supposed to be wearing masks and gloves. No, they'll appear with one glove sometimes. The mask halfway on their head. I don't know.
Yeah, well, the thing about it is, now for those who don't have the call-in number here at the station, because people are calling me on my phone,
Blowing it up.
813-251-9867. 813-251-9867. Because if you're calling me on my cell phone right now, I can't talk to you. So, okay, we got a caller. Oh, so somebody got the number. So I usually don't give the number out once, but that's okay. Everybody got the number. So, caller, welcome to Porch Talk Radio this Saturday afternoon. Who are you? Where are you calling from? And what say you? Hello?
Hello, Eddie. How are you? This is Karen Peoples calling from Tampa.
Hello,
I
Karen.
just wanted to thank you for having Miss Tammy on the show. I'm listening to her and taking notes of what all she does, and very high regard to her. And I'm listening to Joe and listening to Albert as calling in. I want to appreciate you for having this show. But I also want to say thank you for mentioning sickle cell. I do sickle cell surveys. Sickle cell is a sickness that a lot of people don't know that they have, and a lot of people have, and they don't know where to go. Sandra Owens and myself, Karen Peoples, we are out in the communities. We take surveys. I do 50 to 100 surveys every month in reference to this. Frank Reddick is the Sickle Cell Association member of. I wanted to let people know sickle cell is very, very important, and you're right in reference to what you're saying about the sickle cell. I do the surveys because I had a family member who died of sickle cell. I want people to understand sickle cell awareness. It has to be found in the community among the people, and let the people know there is help for them. There is programs for them. There is different things that they can do that can help themselves in reference to having the sickle cell. And I just want to thank you for mentioning the sickle cell, because this is my way right now to get it out, that I do a sickle cell surveys. It's a very important entity to me, as well as diabetes, but I'm glad you brought that up about the sickle cell and how widespread it is.
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks for calling, man. God
If
bless
you
you.
want to give your number now, we got another caller, but go ahead and give your number so
Yes,
folks can contact you.
My phone number is 813-531-3341. 813-531-3341. Karen Peoples.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right.
Karen.
All right, caller, welcome to Porch Talk Radio. Who are you? Where are you calling from? And what say you? Hello?
Yes, good afternoon. This is Adam from Tampa.
Adam,
Yes, sir.
welcome.
Okay, just wanted to just kind of mention, Mr. Adams, I've listened to your show for quite a while, and you have mentioned in the past about some medical issues that you have overcome and you've been able to make it. Hearing some of the things and statements that you're making, the thing is the reason why, and you talk about context and putting things into perspective, we've lost almost 90,000 people in 2 months. That's unprecedented. So that can be compared to cancer.
Yes, sir.
Because if you lost 90,000 people from cancer in 2 months, you would think that this was very serious. So we have to take this very seriously.
But let me give you another perspective on that.
Okay.
There's a propaganda that's happening
Huge.
where we encountered other disease and viruses and things in the past that have been a lot more lethal than the current one we're dealing with. So everybody got to make a decision. You got to make a decision for you and your family and for your own self. But the good thing about America, everybody has to pursue happiness and liberty and all these things in their own way. So I am not going to sit here and tell you, to go out and do all the things you want. I can just tell you what I choose to do for myself.
Exactly.
And because I think it's propaganda, a lot of the stuff that they're forcing people to do, I'm saying the people that are telling me to stay home and don't do nothing but sit there and suffer, they ain't suffering. I'm just saying, I'm just bringing out that point. And that's my only point in it. I'm not telling anybody to go out. I'm just saying I choose not to.
No, I understand we all have free will. And the
Right.
thing is that, and I agree with you as far as that is concerned, because the thing is, prior to actually getting into this with the coronavirus, we didn't have actual empirical data. And the thing is that now we have empirical data, so people have to make that calculus because they see that we've had almost or your chances as far as getting this coronavirus. Now, if you decide to go out without a mask and you decide to not do certain things, that's your choice because you have the empirical evidence. Now, the thing is that when I was referencing about what you were saying in the past, because I've listened to you for years as far as pre-existing health conditions or comorbidities, is that the thing is that people who have pre-existing conditions, if they go out and they get that, the thing is that there's a very good chance that they will have a very hard course to recover. Now, the thing is are you, Mr. Adams, because you've expressed, like I said, I've listened to you, and you said that you've had situations where you were in the hospital and people thought that you were going to, not make it and stuff like that. And I think you're a valued asset to our community. Now, are you using masks when you go out, or
no,
you
sir. Our calls are backing up, but the fact that a lot of people have never faced their own demise. A lot of people have never had somebody tell them that they were not going to live, that they were not going to make it out the hospital. And I have been through that, and I know what kind of illness, sicknesses, and stuff. All of them may be a little different, but again, you gotta, you can't not live trying to stay so healthy, to the point, and and one of the reasons I was able to do some stuff I could, because I lost 50 pounds in 6 months, and that changed my whole life. So being healthy, doing the right thing, is a big deal.
A decision.
And people got to take control of their own life and their own thing. Now, being hungry and down at home is the way to deal with it. If that's the way you choose, more power to you. I'm not telling you not to do that. I'm not telling you to go out and make a living and keep your family from suffering. I'm telling you, do what you think works best for you.
Absolutely.
Now, we got another caller.
Thanks, Adam. Take care.
Thank you for calling. Caller, welcome to Porch Talk Radio this Saturday afternoon. Who are you? Where you calling from? What say you? Hello?
Hi, Eddie. It's Brooke from the A-Track.
Hey.
How are you?
I am doing excellent. How about yourself?
Good. I'm so sorry I caught the show a little bit late, but what I've heard is great so far.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I kind of murdered the sheepdog story, but I had to make it work for us.
That'll work.
No, I heard it. It was great. And I agree with you on just everything you said so far about the propaganda. They're padding the numbers because they're calling everything with as being from. So I don't believe the numbers, and certainly I don't believe CNN. I don't believe most of the media. But I wanted to call you because I figured I'd call rather than just call you later. On my show during the month of May, in order to support small business, I have a complimentary offer. I'm giving one restaurant and one small business a free promotion. And I wanted to support black-owned businesses in the community because I don't know that they're getting enough mention on the media. There was a barber that was mentioned along with Shelley Luther. He didn't really get so much press. He's out of, I think it was Minnesota, They were going to fine him like $25,000. Yeah. So anyways, if someone's listening and they want to have some support on my show, which is Saturdays at 7 p.m. on AM 860, let Eddie know because I want to talk with you.
Give your info, give you a number for them to call, a website for them to get in contact with you directly. Go ahead.
Okay, great. The website is brooktalksamerica.com, but they can DM me on Twitter, which is, I don't know why they don't let me set it up one way, but Twitter is @TalksAmerica. So they can find me there, or Brooke Talks on Facebook. But all of the connections will be on the website, which is brooktalksamerica.com.
All right, thank you very much. And Brooke, we do have a black business owner here on the show today, so she's getting support.
I just a little bit late. Hi.
Yes. All right. So thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Bless. So Tammy, go ahead and give your info out again.
Okay. Thank you, Eddie.
Thank you, Brooke.
My phone number is 813-892-9888. 813-892-9888. Feel free to call me or text me. All right. Now we got to get this in. So on this day, I know it was getting there.
I was thinking,
back to miss it. Nope, we're gonna miss it. So on this day, on May 16th, 1868, the U.S. President Andrew Johnson was acquitted during a Senate impeachment. He was acquitted by one vote. And I do the phone call as soon as I finish this. And on this day, May 16th, 1965, SpaghettiOs was sold in the U.S. for the first time.
Who has not had spaghetti?
Yeah, I ate SpaghettiOs when I was in college. And on this date, on May 16th, 1991, Queen Elizabeth II became the first British monarch to address the U.S. Congress. And this is not his birthday. His birthday's in a couple of days, but I could not leave out, Brother Malcolm X. Born May 19th, 1925 in Omaha, Nebraska.
Omaha.
I would have never thought, Malcolm X was born in Nebraska, in the middle of America.
Cornfields, out of the cornfields.
Yeah. So he was a minister, a Muslim minister, human rights activist, and became a popular figure during the civil rights movement. So happy birthday in a couple of days to Malcolm X. Okay, caller, welcome to Porch Talk Radio. Who are you? Where you calling from? And what say you? Hello.
I'm Willie, and I'm calling from home here in Tampa. What's up, fellas?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Willie.
sir. Thank you. Welcome.
Listen, here's the it's because people can't do math. I'm convinced of it. If people can't not do math. And they are faced with even these numbers that we get from CDC, that we get from Johns Hopkins. And even though some of these numbers are probably fake, as a matter of fact, even most of them are probably fake, if you take them even at face value, the chances of me contracting COVID-19, coronavirus, Hong Kong flu, whatever you're calling it, right now in Hillsborough County is 0.109 of 1%.
Wow.
So the caller who said that, it's almost impossible. It's contagious, but it's almost impossible to get. Ebola is contagious, but it's almost impossible to get because it's not here.
Right.
In Hillsborough County, sadly, we've had 47 people die in this crisis. 47 in 3 months.
Out of 1.4 million.
Out of 1.4 million people. Now, the caller that I was listening to a little bit ago mentioned that and all these people have died. Well, all those people die all the time.
Right.
They're just not targeted with this thing or the other thing.
Yeah.
David, I'm sorry. This is not Disney World. People actually die here.
Yeah.
People actually die on this planet. People actually die
daily.
in this country, and they die of all sorts of things all the time.
Well,
So,
let me tell you something that nobody's mentioned. The number of people who have been killed in Florida, by getting hit on their bicycles, by cars. I mean, we lead the nation in bicycle fatalities.
We got to do one of two things, Eddie. We got either have a ban cars or ban bicycles.
Right.
One
There
of
you
the
go.
two.
That's it.
So it just doesn't make it just doesn't, and I'm sure of it. I'll let you guys go because I know it's time, and I have missed the of the day stuff. I've missed that. Praise the Lord, I have missed that.
Oh, yeah. A brother in faith.
It's called On This Day.
On the day in history.
Good to hear from you, Willie.
I forgot what you were calling it.
Thank you.
But when you're talking about 109.12 people, getting this virus out of 100,000 people.
Okay, let's see if we can get one more call in.
Thanks,
Okay.
Willie.
Thank you for
God
calling.
bless.
Yeah,
All right.
here you go.
All right, thank you, caller. Welcome to Porch Talk Radio. Let's see if we can get this in before the show's over with. Who are you? Where you calling from? And what say you? Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
Yes.
I just want to let you know,
Yes, ma'am.
the numbers don't matter. If one person pass away, that is an important thing. Because let me tell you this. My mother always had it, she always said this, that was somebody's child, that was somebody's loved one. So I'm not even looking at the numbers. What we need to look at is that people's loved ones are dying, whether it's natural causes or by this air. I'm just saying, get the numbers out your head, people are dying, and we're trying to help people to keep from dying. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Appreciate
Okay, there
that.
we
All
go.
right. Okay, Tammy, Facebook Live, thank you for listening, for watching.
Share, like,
today.
share.
And we're going to get your information out one more time before we go, because we got 1 more minute.
Okay.
Quickly.
Tammy Foster Knight. My phone number is 813-892-9888, 9888. And gentlemen, I just want to say I brought you some face masks.
All right.
Especially for the special women in your life,
Oh my
Gabrielle.
goodness, you tired ladies is
Yes,
crazy.
make sure
Well,
they
thank
wear
you.
the
I will
face
share
masks.
make sure they get those things. And thank you for your time. Real nice, prior military. I'm Air Force also.
Oh,
awesome.
thank you for your service.
So thank you for all that you're doing for the community as well. That's awesome.
Thank you.
All right, it's that time again, folks. Thank you for listening spending your last hour with the three of us, and we appreciate you. We love this community, and we love everything you say and everything you do. So until next week, same bat time, same bat station. The guys here at Porch Talk Radio saying farewell.
God bless America.
See ya. Bye-bye.